Hello and a very warm welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you 3 of my favourite tall perennial grasses. My first favourite tall grass has to be Calamagrostis, Karl Foerster. This is my go-to grass whenever we're designing gardens before in the past. And it is one of those ones that is versatile, it has a long season of interest and just looks amazing. It is a type of feather reed grass and it can grow up to a height of 1.8 metres tall. It's best grown in full sun but can tolerate some shade. It is quite an adaptable grass. It does like to grow in well-drained soil, but it can grow in heavier soils too, and once established it can actually be quite drought tolerant. When it first starts to flower, the flower plumes have a purplish tone to them. It's very beautiful. And then as they age, they go to this beautiful tan colour. And it just is so beautiful. We like to grow it here with the Crocosmia, which has just gone over now. We've also got the Eupatorium, which is slightly to the side, and also Veronicastrum. It does look really good mingled with other plants such as like Verbena, Echinaceas, Heleniums, all of those kind of late flowering plants that come out during the late part of summer. The foliage itself is quite narrow, is quite strappy-like, but the flower plumes is what you grow it for, and these just absolutely amazing, very tactile, and one of my go-to plants when it comes to getting a lovely tall and perennial grass that provides lots and lots of height and a long season of interest. My next tall grass is this beautiful Molinia caerulea Edith Dudszus. This is absolutely fantastic, another beautiful one. It's known as a purple moorgrass and grows to a height of around 1.2 metres, so a little bit shorter than you see with the Calamagrostis. It does like to be in full sun, or it can also tolerate part shade as well. This particular grass does like to have some moisture in the soil, particularly during the summer months, so it's not a grass that you would go to for drought tolerance. The flowers emerge around midsummer time as they come up through the foliage, and then the stems get taller and taller until they reach this kind of height now. It is such a beautiful one. You can see like purplish tones within the flowers, so it's really beautiful. And then as time progresses, as we get into autumn, the foliage and the flowers and the stems do turn a beautiful yellowy orange colour, so extending that season and giving you that extra bit of interest. It's one of those grasses that you can see through, so we have it on the edge of this part of the garden here, on this border, and you're allowed to see through it because it is quite airy. You can see through the Lysimachia at the back there and going back through into the Sanguisarba, and then from the other angle, from the other way, you are able to see the rest of the garden. And it is quite nice to have it quite near this seating area because it is very tactile, and you find yourself as you're eating and drinking kind of touching the flower spikes, and it's really tactile and nice to feel. As with most ornamental grasses, you get that lovely wind and that lovely movement. It is such a beautiful one. The last tall ornamental grass that I want to show you is this beautiful Miscanthus sinensis, and this one variety is called Ferner Osten. It is beautiful. It's placed in this border towards the back. Height wise it can get to around 2 metres tall, and it does need some space to grow because it can also grow to a width of around 1 metre wide. It likes to be in full sun or light shade, and it does prefer to have moist, well-drained soil, but it is particular with regards to winter wet. It doesn't like to be wet during the winter time. That can cause the plant to rot. So do have somewhere where it can be freely drained, particularly during the winter time. This particular grass is evergreen, so it has a nice stripe of cream running through the centre of the leaves. Then it throws up these beautiful feathery flowers which just light up the garden in this lovely shade of pink and red, and these later during the autumn time will fade to a beautiful silver. So it does have a very good season of interest. It gives you that evergreen foliage all the way through the year. You get the beautiful flower plumes coming up through midsummer, and then the show just gets better and better. It stands quite well during the autumn, and into winter time too. If you are interested in ornamental grasses, I will drop a link to another video we filmed last year, which includes tall grasses and short grasses, and I'll put a link to that in the description and also on the screen. That is all the three I wanted to show you today, so thank you so much for watching. I do hope you found it informative and also enjoyable. If you're new to ornamental grasses, I do hope it's given you some inspiration to try them in your garden. They do look fantastic. I can really account for this because they look beautiful when mixed with perennials, particularly with the late season perennials such as the Rebeckias, the Asters and the Echinaceas, Monadas. All those type of plants look wonderful if you site them close to or nearby to an ornamental grass. The associations are just perfect. You also don't need to have acres and acres to grow ornamental grasses. We have a fairly small garden. In this border behind me and throughout the garden we have different spots where we have ornamental grasses, and they grow perfectly well with the normal garden plants. A lot of people think, well, what's the point in growing grasses? They're just grass. They do have such structural and majestic elements, and I would not want to be gardening without grasses in the border. It's just one of those things that as my garden style has grown and has changed, it does include ornamental grasses, and it's one of those things that once you start to have a couple, you then expand and have more and more. It's one of those kind of things where you're bitten by the bug of ornamental grasses and you just seek out and find all variety of different types. Evergreen, deciduous, ones that are flowering earlier on, ones that flower later on, ones that are short, ones that are high, ones that are medium. The whole host of different situations as well for different garden soils. So if you've got your dry soils, you've got your moderate soils, and then you've got your very, very moist soils. So the sport for choice, there is a grass for every situation, so really there's no excuse not to be adding these into your garden and enjoying the lovely benefits that these bring. So I'll leave the video there. Please give us a like, please subscribe. If you do have any comments, please drop those in the comments box below. And we will see you very, very soon on the next one. In the meantime, please do take care, and as always, happy gardening.